Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all doing? Welcome to episode 9. It's another Tuesday evening. It's been 3 weeks again. I don't know about you, Steph. I can't keep up with this 3 weeks at a time. I think we might next year we might have to change this to 4 weeks because
it comes around very quick, doesn't it?
I was going to say my feet have barely touched the ground, and to be fair, it's just been a bit chaotic, hasn't it? We've had probably another 15, 20 race events happened in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, loads.
Something like that. We had 6 events on the weekend just gone. That is what tonight's show is all about, actually. We are going to be talking to, we've got 2 great guests, if not maybe 3 later on, joining us from the Equipe MG Cup. So that is tonight's episode. If you like all things MG, come on in, come and join us, come and talk to, so we're going to be joined by Peter Burchill and Ashley Woodward, who are seasoned racers within the club, and it's going to be great to have those guys on in a little bit. I'm just going to pop to the comments because it's already lighting up. Hey, good evening, Jeremy Evans. How are you doing? Fresh from a successful weekend in TDC and TDT? Or did he just do TDT? All I know is he came away with a second place trophy. So well done, Samprini Racing, for that. Very well driven. It was a cracking race, actually. It was really good. Definitely made my ears prick up a little bit watching it. I reckon that's where the Vectra might end up, Steph, you know?
Yeah, never know.
Maybe. There you go. He's just corrected me. It was TDT. Because I think TDC was on the Saturday, TDT was on the Sunday. But yeah, so that was good. So it was good for MSVR to get their racing up there. And we've also joined by, good evening, Chris Pratt. Hope you're well, mate. How's that certificate? We'll post it. I didn't get a chance to upload a picture quick enough, unfortunately. But yes, this man is, in fact, actually, let me find the picture because he very proudly put it up earlier. We are actually also joined by his better half. Good evening, Vicky. Hope you are. Oh, Jeremy, I'm not bringing that comment up, Steph. You can bring that comment up that Jeremy's just put up.
I can only wish, Jeremy. I can only wish.
It's not funny. No, we have not.
Case up to.
It is not happening.
It'd be running by now.
It would be, actually. It'd be far more reliable. But news for people that may have not seen our stories, we have now got it back. How many miles did we do yesterday, Steph?
440, 450 or something. So take her back. So she's back now.
She's back. She's back in the shed.
Can start.
Yeah, the rebuild can start. Actually, I've just had, before we came online, I've just had an update from Jay as well. So, so we have engine updates, but we're going to save that for the vlog. I'm struggling here. Where's this picture? There we go. There we go. Right. I do apologize. So just for the record, I'm just going to point it out. I'm on a different laptop tonight. I have no idea how to use it. So please bear with this show. It's much faster. It's lovely, actually. So just going back to it, Chris Pratt of All Square Racing Road and the Motorsport Coach as well. He is now a level 3 sports psychology diploma. Unfortunately, like I say, I didn't get a chance to upload it, but
let me find that.
There's his certificate. There it is. Well done, mate. That is brilliant. I'm loving this, especially adding extra strings to your coaching bow. That's for sure. So yeah, not only could he set your car up, pointing it perfectly in the right direction, but he can now also tell you. I mean, he could anyway. He was bloody brilliant with us when
definitely.
It's well.
Size to it, isn't it? So
100%. I cannot stress it enough. One of the best upgrades you can ever buy for your car is time with Chris. I'm not just saying because he sponsors the club. Okay, I'm not just saying that. Honestly, the man is a wizard and is well worth getting in touch. I'm sure he'll pop up in the comments because he is watching. He'll let us know his calendar availability. Please do, Chris, because he's a busy man. So you need to make sure you book him well in advance. We're also joined by episode 8 guest James Wheeler. Good evening. You've got the stickers. Great. I'm glad you got the stickers because I panicked because he was like, "They've not arrived yet." So yeah, glad you got that. You got Alton Park this weekend as well in the Jags. That is going to be incredible. We're going to definitely be watching that because they look hilarious fun. But we were talking to James in the week. He's really looking forward to Alton. We know that. Very picturesque track, and he was getting his toes in to see what it's like. So yeah. And then last one quickly. So this is just the welcomes and stuff. I'm going to go on to. We've got one piece of news tonight, and we'll bring that up in a second. There you go. So Chris has 2 dates left in July. Then it's into August already. So we're pretty much looking at the tail end of the race season already.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, guys, get in touch with him if you need any setup and coaching. Right.
Beautiful.
Yes. Steph, have you got any news or anything you want to bring up before we get into the news and stuff?
No, not any personal news. No one needs to hear that either.
I was right. I was like, oh, what are you going to tell us? Is it going to be like some kind of, I don't know.
No, what's your one piece?
So the one piece so I'm going to go on to the new quickly last comment actually because I've just seen one more pop up. Good evening, Callum. So Peter will be on once I drop this bit of news. So probably we'd usually do this for about 15 minutes. So probably about 5-10 minutes, and we'll get the main subject matter on.
How big is this piece of news?
It's not that big. It's just I want to have a little discussion about it because I'm genuinely a bit gutted. So let's get on to the news. And the news is that unfortunately, the C1 Racing Club announced yesterday that unfortunately the 24-hour race that would be hosted at Anglesey, I think it was in May. Unfortunately, they've had to cancel it. Now, we know Robin and Tom incredibly well. Probably two of the nicest guys you're ever going to find in a club paddock. Okay. And quite frankly, I'm just going to have a moan here. It's not good enough. They work absolutely tirelessly to put on an incredible show, a very well run series. And I know stuff's tough right now out there. We get it. We're all feeling the pinch and stuff like that. But honestly, if we do not support these small clubs and these small series and stuff, and it's no different from the guys we're going to talk to this evening, we're going to lose this racing. I know Anglesey's in the arse end of nowhere. It's not everyone's favourite track. I've seen a few people support them on this one, but there's C1s everywhere. Okay. Again, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea for racing. It's it's small endurance racing, what have you. But they used to have 100+ cars. I think one year at Silverstone they had like 100 odd cars. But honestly, I don't know. I don't know what. Please get in the comments to see how you feel about this. But these guys work so hard, and then for them to have to cancel like probably their flagship event in a year, I'm gutted for them. I really am. Obviously, if we can do anything to help you boys in future events, obviously let us know. We'll try our best. I know we're all feeling the pinch. I get that, but there is plenty of cars out there and plenty of availability. I even saw BBC PC Racing comment yesterday. Like, it's not all about money. They've got spares, they've got bits, they've got this and this. They're willing to help people get cars on the track. I know it's a fun sport. I know it's probably the first thing people don't go and do because of money, etc. But I really don't want to see these clubs and these series fading away. Because people are struggling. So obviously get in touch. If you guys have got anything on this, let us know. But I'm really gutted for the guys. And that's my bit of news. It was more a bit of a bit of a moan, a bit of a rant, really. It is. It
would be just interesting to find out, from people what the sort of reasoning was. Was it the cost? Was it because it's Anglesey? Was it wrong time of year? Sort of. It'd be interesting to find out sort of what are people's reasons why they didn't want to do it. Because as you say, there is a lot of C1s out there that do race. Why they just didn't decide to do that event? Just be interesting to find out. I
mean, like I say, I had a little chat with Robin and Tom yesterday. I don't know why Anglesey seems to get a bit of not a bad rap. I love Anglesey. I'm sure there's tons of races that it's a racing track. I'm not being funny. It is a great track. The best the best scenery out there by a mile. And yeah, I mean, I know we've said it in the past. Anglesey seems to be 7 hours for literally everybody around the UK, no matter where you live. But it's a great giggle. So yeah, and in fact, I've just seen Robin's popped up. Robin, you and me both, mate. I'm genuinely gutted. Like I say, it sucks, but yeah, we've got to just support these guys. I'm hoping we're just in a dip, and we're hoping next year, because there's plenty of racing going on. There's plenty of things happening. Hopefully, things are on the up. But I guess this is just the knock-on, isn't it, of several years of COVID and all that jazz. But Cozzy lives, isn't it? As people have dubbed it, Cozzy lives. But
Cozzy lives.
I get it. It's that awkward bit, isn't it? If you've got people that got tons of money that can just throw it around all over the place. I mean, jealous. Those people are less affected. I get it. The club racers are the ones that really take the brunt, because we're doing it as a hobby, a bit of fun, and it is that little bit of spare cash that you scribble away for your weekend. So yeah, it sucks, but there you go. Robin's actually put up here. So feedback was just teams couldn't get drivers. The comments were just don't want to go to Anglesey, which is mad.
I wonder why that is, though. Is that because of the distance or what? Because as we said before, Anglesey is a long way away for most people, but it's an incredible track, awesome to drive. It is heavy on tires, track, isn't it? It is, yeah. It's quality, and we haven't done. No, I haven't done any low-powered racing in it, but I would expect that track to really, really work well with the C1s, etc. The sort of KAs and stuff. So yeah, that would be. I don't really understand why people wouldn't want to do it. I don't really get it. Why people don't want to go there.
Especially the 24-hour. Like,
yeah,
I mean, you could do I live right outside the front of my house is a park, and it's got a big circle around it. I'd do 24 hours around that. It'd be hilarious.
And I'm assuming, obviously, I don't know, Robin can correct me or whatever, but I'm assuming the entry fee for the 24 at Anglesey will be cheaper than the 24 at Silverstone. So, you get the same racing, I'm assuming, cheaper. And at a quality track, so I don't really understand it, really.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, I'm gutted for him. I will put this bed, because we can talk about this all night. There you go. Actually, Jeremy, love Anglesey. KAs are doing 24 hour there this year. Maybe some pay-as-you-go drivers do both C1s and KAs, so only have a budget for one. Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? Everyone likes to put their eggs in certain baskets, but C1, honestly, I cannot stress enough how well the club is run, how tight everything is. It's completely well policed. Anyone can win it. It's fantastic. But yeah. There you go. So just to put it into perspective, Anglesey was 3,750. Silverstone would have been 8K plus. Yeah. That's Silverstone tax there, isn't it?
Well, exactly. That's why
we're the home of British motorsport.
That's a great price, really, isn't it, for a 24-hour race.
Yeah. And honestly, I know we've said it a million times before, a 24-hour race, if you have never done one, you have to do one. It's
awesome. Yeah.
Hilarious. It's great fun. But yeah, so sorry, I've just lowered the tone massively for today's show. So hopefully we can pick it back up with our guests. We'll do one more comment. I've just seen Sheila pop up. Good evening, Sheila. Good evening, all. Also, there is still time to get your Hyundai into the OT Cup this weekend at Cadwell to help support a budget run series. So another well-run budget series. So it's Cadwell Park this weekend, isn't it, for you guys? So that'll be wicked too. We'll be definitely watching that. Right. Shall we move on to tonight's show, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah? Right. So without further ado, tonight's show is all about the Equipe MG Cup. And we are joined by, let's bring him in, Mr. Peter Burchill.
Hiya.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, not so bad. Not so bad.
And then we've got Ashley Woodward as well. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
How are we all doing?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, good. Just off the back of Cadwell at the weekend, and
yes,
Cadwell is like Anglesey. It's an absolute driver's circuit, and if you haven't been, you've got to go and support any level of racing there. But people don't like to travel, and it's not that difficult.
No,
but that's the difficulty of Anglesey. It's a very rewarding circuit, but people have the stigma with it. It's a real shame, and that price difference between running a 24-hour at Anglesey and running it at Silverstone, it's like, hold on. So for the price of Silverstone, you could almost buy a the safety gear, but you could set a budget of 10k between the drivers, and that includes putting a car together and an entry. It's just I know 10k is a lot of money for people to comprehend, but for 24 hours
in the grand scale of
things, and hopefully you've got a car to sell at the end of it, haven't you? So
or you could do more rounds.
Exactly.
They've got plenty of rounds. You've got 5 hours, you've got 6 hours, you've got all sorts of rounds with those guys, double headers and all sorts. So it's it's good to hear your opinion on it. I'd say Cadwell definitely is another driver's track, isn't it? I think you're right in what you're saying. There is certain people that don't like to travel too far, because I know that adds to the expense as well. But I mean, unfortunately, unless you're going to race at one track all year, or you're lucky enough to live literally on the doorstep of a particular track. I know a regular on the show, old Cantunio, is literally, he can see Brands Hatch from his back garden. We're not all that lucky, are we? We don't, racetracks, unfortunately. I say unfortunately, we've got some of the best racetracks in the world, easily. And I mean, they're never that far away. We live on the most southern part of the UK, nearly. We could get to a fair few racetracks within a couple of hours.
I don't know. I always take the view it's a racing weekend, whether you're racing Saturday or Sunday. And we get giddy for it 2 weeks before, and all the banter starts, and that's what club racing should be. We want to race with like-minded people. Forget all the politics and all the stuff 100%. That goes on. It's just absolute waste of time. We're really lucky. I was just tallying up. We've got 53 drivers registered with us. And that's fabulous. But the beauty of it is they do the rounds they want to do. And that's the one big difference we've noticed this year. We did 35 years as a championship, and we've forgone that, and we're now a series. But I tell you what, it takes all the pressure off. It makes it much more enjoyable. And the racing is, if not good, if not better, it really has. We're really pleased with it, and it is tough, as you say, and times are difficult for some people, and we understand that. But the beauty is that because we've got drivers all over the UK, they choose the select rounds they want to do, or a couple, or one of our guys is in Scotland. And he races his C1 in a Scottish championship, but he's coming down to Silverstone for our big race on the GP circuit, and that's not a problem. But he supports the championship. It's Ian Cochrane, and it's really good to get that commitment from Ian to run the car, to bring it down, and to enjoy the racing. And he has a lot of fun. He's C1 in Scotland, and you can't fault that.
No, definitely not.
And to be fair, we spoke a little bit off show, didn't we, about this? And it's quite interesting to obviously, as you say, you've been running as a championship, and then obviously not numbers have dwindled, but obviously things have happened and stuff like that, and numbers have decreased. But then going to a series, do you think does that just instantly lift the pressure off? As you say, people can then pick and choose what they fancy doing.
I think so. And we came out of a year of uncertainty, and to be fair, the writing was on the wall the previous year. So we deliberately spoke to a number of organisers, set feelers out because we wanted to continue racing with our friends. That's why you go racing. We've got
100%.
lifelong friends, and we've got a lot of drivers that are ex-drivers, but they come along and watch it. And this is what we want to.
It is a great weekend out, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
you can have all the luck in the world and everything goes swimmingly, and then bloody thing blows up, and and you think, oh, for God's sake, but you deal with that, and everybody rallies around, and I think we're lucky, and I count myself lucky that I can just about justify going racing. And it's a hell of a thing. So many of my friends return to work on a Monday, or went to football or played golf, and they're equally enjoyable hobbies. But I'm being very polite about it. I think it sticks in the eyes. Hitting a golf ball. I'm sorry. What is that about? Sorry to all the golfers out there, but really get a life. No,
waste of a perfectly good walk, that is, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But no, but you just it's refreshing because we have run the championship for years, and just to see drivers want to sign up with you is a good thing.
Yeah.
But we treat everybody the same. So we've got drivers that will do one race, drivers that will do 7 races.
Yeah.
And everybody's treated the same. But the good thing this year, and that we've really noticed, is we don't celebrate the race winner. And that's the big difference, because I've been looking at other series that have streaming organised by the organisers, and that follows inevitably the front pack of 4 cars.
Yeah.
And the front pack of 4 cars may be very, we've got some very quick cars at the sharp end, but the battles that are midfield, or we've got 5 classes. So we have Class A that's standard, Class B that's modified, Class C that's race. We introduced this year Class D, which is cars that meet our regs but run on slicks, and that was something that we agreed to do because the MG Car Club were no longer racing. We wanted to make sure we had a catch-all, because others have gone to different organisers, and that's absolutely fine. But we agreed with the club that we'd actually open our as is now a series, but actually open it up to more people. And it's great because the guys that are on slicks, they have their own battle. So a brand, Mark Wright, was on fire, but we're all on Toyo tires. But the guys on slicks are running competition wets, and there is a big difference. But
you've got several of them.
It worked, and it's refreshing because we always photograph everybody with the awards, and we don't care who gets on one step. We just say, all right, everyone that's won a trophy to the front, and it's just moving the boundaries a little bit,
and it's clearly working, because let's be honest, you had, I think, what was it, 46? Because it was round 3 and 4 this weekend just gone, wasn't it, at Cadwell? You had 46 cars arrive. Just quickly, sorry, I can see Eliza patiently waiting in the back room. Bless her. I will introduce her in as well. Good evening, Eliza. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Sorry, I can see you in the background, and I was like, we got to cut you in at some point because I feel like we'll be talking for ages. So, sorry, Peter. So, obviously, rounds 3 and 4 this weekend.
Yeah, so we had 22 drivers on the day, which was really good. So yeah, we and our next round is Alton on the 18th of May, and we opened the entry list yesterday, and we're at 12 already, and we're forecasting about 20. We reckon we could be on for about 25 4:25.
Excellent. Yeah.
And that's great. And then we hit the really busy spot because we've then got Silverstone, Donington, Snetterton, and Silverstone again, and they're always popular. And yeah, it's good. But yeah, we've been really pleased this year. You know, we've got a lot of new drivers, and Eliza's joined us in a rather nice MGF 190, which it is a bit of an animal. It's probably takes some taming, but you know, it's great to see that cars are coming to the Equipe MG Cup to make their debuts or to make to come out. And you know, we had some drivers that normally race in other series, and you know, this year they've only got I think they've got 4 rounds or something. And you know, we've got a number of drivers that have come out with us, and we've got drivers who will come out with them, and it's quite amicable. And I just think, yeah, we try to make it the best we can. We decided that Equipe were the best offer. We got, you know, I think the calendar is superb. So we you know, we had a media day, test day at Brands, then on to
got a picture of it there.
Ah, there you go. Yeah,
Look at that. Modern
the Brands
technology.
Indy, Cadwell, Alton Park, Silverstone Grand Prix. It's the historic Grand Prix circuit, so it's a good one. Donington, Snetterton 300, and then we're going to mix it up. So we're doing a 40-minute pit stop race for the last race of the season. And the beauty of that is, it's for, you can do it as a solo driver, so you have a compulsory pit stop, and then you get set back on track. Or to help with costs, you can actually share. So out of the 53 people that have registered, you know, even if we had 2 per car, we should see a grid there. And as it's at the end of season, it's always good to go out, you know, finish the season off.
A good blowout, yeah, good.
Yeah,
you're not going to see your mates for 6 months, are you? Or
no. we normally do it at Snetterton, and we always make sure we get a local firm to come and do a big hog roast for us, and it's great. And Snetterton is superb, and it's a 2-day event. So as long as we're not the first race on Sunday morning, it's that might be a bit. Obviously, partaking in lager or bitter or whatever.
Oh, I thought you meant you'd be all overweight from the hog roast.
It's a bit of a struggle trying to do your suit up, to be fair, because let's be honest, the young lady was, so she doesn't have that problems, but you know, we're all getting a little bit older, so the worst one's the first race of the season. You go to put your suit on, bloody hell.
Don't. To be fair, I think I'm going to have to get in touch with you, Super, because I think I need a set of larger harnesses ready for the Vectra when it comes out in June. I have not been race prepared at all.
How's that going? Is it?
Well, we picked it up yesterday, and I have a little widget up here that tells me how many days until Super Touring 2, and it's 66 days, and I've still currently got no engine. So.
Okay, we won't bring up any more.
No pressure. No pressure.
I'll just send a comment to the next in 3 weeks' time. Have you got an engine?
Yes. I'll tap you up, because I think we also need to sort out a fire extinguisher as well. So
okay, mate.
We'll have a chat about that.
Okay.
One thing I do want to talk about, obviously, the fact that you've got big numbers. The stress of it's all going away because you're into a series now. But the thing I absolutely love, firstly, I've got to give a shout out to the Equipe guys, because they have some incredible machinery on their bill.
At Cadwell, it was just superb.
But it was incredible.
We were set up, and the Mach 1 is behind us, and the noise just to tick over as it reverses out of the race shuttle. It's like, I want one.
Yeah. It's literally.
I'll sell my kids, and I want them. No, but it's great.
Oh my! Just remember, this is a live show. They will hear that you've just offered to sell them there.
They're off at university drinking, so they won't be listening.
So. Oh, they won't be listening. That's okay then. So, in actual fact, what I'll just quickly do is I will just load up what they've got. What I can also bring up as well, because you guys, let's not take anything away. You guys have, you'll check the series and all the rules and regs and stuff like that. There is tons of different shapes, sizes, all sorts of MGs still out there, isn't there? I mean, MGs were a very popular car. I won't really go much on the new MGs. I don't know how you guys feel about them, but let's be honest. There are some seriously good-looking race cars here.
The ZR is the most popular. I'm just looking. I think we've got 4 in Class A, which is a 160, and then we've got it's quite frightening actually. We've got over 30 of them. So they're a really popular car. That's a 160, so that's a standard road car, lowering springs and safety equipment and pads.
Okay.
And
Nice.
you know, some of these cars, they are good value. So you know, one of our drivers, Greg, he's got an MGF, and he had a few issues with the engine, and a ZR 160 came up, and you know, it's around the 4 or 5 grand for a fully fledged race car, and
which is cheap.
And that's Ashley's weapon, the V6, and you know, you race a Vectra, and that's cool, but you know, we challenge anybody to get in a car that's 2.5 litres, and you can buy a car with an MOT for about 1,200 quid. They're just
mad,
ridiculously cheap, and the chassis, as all of the MGs are, apart from the TFs and the F, which is a Metro, but they are Honda chassis, and the Rover engineers. If you took, that's my weapon.
Somebody else drives one.
And underneath that car, it's basically a DC2.
Oh wow!
So you've got one of the best chassis in motorsport. With a Rover K series engine. Our V6 is a Cosworth made the blocks, which was about as well. It's good and bad, but it's you can't get the bits from them. But no, the beauty is though, you can get, you know, we've got several cars for sale at the moment, and the great thing is I go on eBay and I trawl around, and there's a couple at the moment. There's a 1.8 rally car ZR. It's 2.5 grand. It's cage. You've got the suspension, and you just got to swap the head and the wiring loom to make it a VDC. So yeah, it's really cheap. But you know, Eliza will tell us about her car. It's you know, it looks like an MGF, but it's got a suitable exhaust note. But yeah, it's cracking, and it just looking at the cars, we've got what 7 MGFs registered with us. We've got Rover BRM, then that is a superb, because it's a rare car.
You have to bear with me. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
trying to flick through the pictures that the ones that's uploaded, but.
And yeah, that's Leon in the pink ZR. He knows how to be photographed.
He's definitely picked a good colour for it.
He has indeed. But see, that was another novice driver, and Andrew Walsh passed his ARDS test this year.
Nice.
And he was looking for a car. He's a bit like most of us. He's got a bit of a collection, but unfortunately, Chris Whitewick has competed with us for years, but he unfortunately had he's very well now, but he had a pacemaker fitted, so he couldn't get his race license.
Okay.
And we're having a discussion about that before Brands Hatch, and I thought, well, Andy's looking for a car. Hold on a second. So you couple of quick messages, and then 2 of our drivers are talking, and then at Brands Hatch, there's Andy's car on the trailer, and at the end of Brands Hatch, it's on another trailer, and he did his first race at Cadwell, and he did sneak down for a little bit of instruction beforehand, but he managed to stay on the track, unlike me. So fair play.
Yeah, you were telling us off air that you didn't.
I did. It was. I was surprised where I fell off, and I was surprised how steep the grassy bank was, and going down sideways. I was thinking, oh gosh, I'm going to roll it, but it didn't.
Cadwell is a brilliant track, and it is. I don't think, as you say, the live streams and things like that, I don't think it does justice just to how undulating the track is. It is a fantastic track. Great fun to walk around as well, eh, Steph?
No.
Yeah.
No, no, it's a long old
it's
walk.
Pretty knackering by the end of it.
Yeah, it is pretty. Like when people say like it's the mini Nürburgring, they're not lying. The mountain is that angle. It's an exciting track. So
it definitely. But I was very fortunate. My car it ran out of electricity in qualifying, and where it broke down was right on just after the mountain, right in front of the cafeteria. Everybody looking and watching, and I thought, for God's sake, I just visored, mirrored visor. Nobody can see. I'm not here.
Everybody knows it was you. It's fine.
But no, but that's the beauty of it. You have a season where you have no problems at all and you enjoy it.
Yeah.
But we're not chasing a championship, so that's the beauty. Because I would have been really gutted that I missed a race because of a battery issue, and I'd kick myself for not bringing a little race battery, spare one. But I phoned my mate up, and a big shout out to Rob Brook. He runs Club and Motorsport, and I said, I need a race battery, I need a favour, can you come to Cadwell? And he did. And all right, he lives in York, so it's not a million miles away, but it's great. And one of the cars had issues with brake lights, and he sends a WhatsApp message out, and everybody lends a hand. And that's a big difference, and that's a really nice thing about a one make club series, because yes, we all got MGs and we all like them, but everybody tries to get everybody back out. So if you have a problem, I remember at Brands Hatch, Leon with the pink F, he's got some pace, but he got caught out and went in sideways to a gravel trap.
Not ideal.
But the rear beam on this car twisted, and then when they took it off and checked it, it needed welding up. So for most people, that's like game over.
Game over, yeah.
He
back
went
on the trailer, and away we go.
Yeah, he went and had a word with Dan Lowe, who was there supporting Stuart Emmett, and the three friends. So they actually got three cars out of the next round, which is really good. But yes, I got a welder, and a lump hammer, a welder, and 4 blokes, and it's probably about 6 of them drinking tea, looking on, which is part of the course. But we pride ourselves on a friendly paddock, and that's really the one thing that I've noticed this year, because the Equips run a very good and very well organised series, and they are actually very, very, all the drivers, and some of them are, they're very well heeled, and they've got some beautiful cars.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing for us last year at Snetterton, I think we had 25 cars out at Snet, and because their races are normally 40 minutes or pit stop races, the guys actually said, it's superb. Those guys are really on it, and everybody does race, and it doesn't matter where you finish, you find somebody to have a battle with. And I was having a chat and a beer with Guy, one of the guys that drives with us, and he's got another ZS, and him and Eliza had a really good battle, and he was so pleased, and that's the beauty of it. You always find a car to do battle with, and it doesn't matter on the class. It doesn't matter if they're a bit slower at this round, because you've either got more experience at the circuit or you've got a slight problem. But they know at the next round, because they've raced together, and yes, we occasionally get the odd little panel tap. It happens. But the one thing that we pride ourselves, Rob Cole, who runs Equips, he's really, really absolutely spot on, and he runs a yellow card and a red card.
Okay.
And
the
reason
I've heard of this. I've heard of. Yeah.
And if you're seen to be, you've watched touring cars too much, or you drive with a little bit of vigor that isn't really, it's not on. They have a quiet word. They give you a yellow card. If you do it again, they say thanks very much, goodbye.
Yeah. Perfect.
And that is the beauty of running a series, because it's by invitation. So if you drive like a numpty, you can go back to where you came from.
You go somewhere else, yeah.
And that's that makes a really, really big difference, because you haven't got you're racing hard, you're mirror to mirror, but you haven't got to worry about somebody actually saying, "Now I'm going to take out your rear quarter to make a place up," and that makes a difference. And especially as we're all conscious of money at the moment. We're all conscious that not everybody can afford it. So you do not want a car to come out. So somebody's saved up and they're spending their hard-earned.
Exactly that.
And somebody drives like a complete prat and damages their car. And that is what you don't want. And I've done the Burchill several times. I might try to do it this year. I've got to work on my endurance to see if I can last. I must admit, 20 minutes is enough. But I'm going to do 40 minutes in the season. Stuff it.
Do it.
But the Burkitts, the prime example. You really are in the lap of the gods, because you've got so many drivers, so many cars. You don't know everybody.
Yeah.
And all you can do is just stick to your lines, and that's what we say to novices. Stick to your line. It's a faster car's problem to get past.
Just be predictable. That's all you ever need to be. No sudden movement, sudden panic. Just stick to where you need to be.
Yeah.
And that's good. It's really good that you do have the red and yellow card situation. I mean, Steph, I'm pretty sure that's why you race with the modified Fords, isn't it? They've got a very similar ethos as such. Beautifully prepared cars. You don't see them every day. You can't just go to your local dealer and just be like, "Oh, I need this part, that part." And like some series or championships out there, I'm not going to name names, but that some of them, as you mentioned, Peter, I've been watching the British touring cars. I will name names for those ones, all in the name of entertainment. But it's great for these guys because they've got millions of pounds budget, hundreds of thousands of pounds budget. They bounce a car off the wall. It's fine. They've got 2 spare cars in their shed. Is that us club racers? We don't have that. And as you say, Steph, you with the modified Ford, you guys have got that ethos, haven't you?
Again, it's a series, isn't it? It's a series, so there's no major competition for championships and stuff like that. And as you say, they're all expensive, very well prepared cars. Everyone's there as mates, want to go out and have some hard racing, have some fun. But at the end of the day, all we want to do is go out and wash the car and get it ready for the next race. We don't want to.
Well, that's the utopia, isn't it? You push off the trailer, put it in the garage, and then get it out, give it a clean, spanner check it. There's always an excuse to go back in the garage and tinker with it. Let's be fair.
I was going to say I've never experienced this, guys. You guys have all got to just let me know what this feels like, because I don't think I've ever got my car off the trailer and gone, right, see you in a couple of months, because something's always gone wrong with R1.
Well, if it doesn't go wrong, that's when you have that itchy trigger feeling to go and buy something to upgrade.
That's the road to ruining it. You've got a perfectly good car and it's reliable, and you think, I'm going to go to the next class up. That's the idea. And you spend a load of money, and then it's like, okay, you take it to the wrong road, and it's like, what? And or you take it out and you find you created a monster that you have to tame. But it's human nature, isn't it? If it's a shiny bit and they claim 5 horsepower, I put it on.
Yeah, you got to absolutely do that.
It's got to be done.
So just a quick one. So Ashley, obviously you've been sat there in the corner patiently there. I obviously like to get you involved in the show, So what's your involvement within the club, and how long have you been racing with you guys?
Been racing too long and rallying before that, to be fair.
Oh, crikey.
my involvement with the cup really it sort of was brought on with Pete's illness and needed somebody to just sort of step in whilst he was recovering. And I've been in the background now, just helping him out and helping really just organise it and try and make sure that everybody has fun. I mean, that's the main thing, as Pete's already said. I mean, we've got people bringing some cars out now. And Jack's coming out at Alton in his 416. Beautifully presented car. But his first question was, I can't afford to bend it. I can't get the bits for it anymore. And everything else from there. So he came out at Brands, and I think he's coming out at Alton. So that'll be fun trying to keep up with him in that. But other than that, it's all part of the fun of motorsport. We do it as a hobby. We do it to enjoy it. And as Pete said, as a series, it's took all the pressure off. There was a lot of questions whether we were doing the right thing, whether or not it made sense to do it. It's also meant that from an organisation point of view, we no longer have to keep looking at the finances.
Yeah.
Equipe are now running it as a series. It's within their series. So they sort all the budgets out. They sort everything out from that side of it. Okay. So that allows us to just purely concentrate now on getting the drivers and ensuring that they're happy and bringing new drivers on like Eliza.
Brilliant. And how has that been, Eliza, joining these guys?
Yeah, it's been great. I've really enjoyed the season so far. And both Brandpat and Cadwell I'd never been to before. So and I absolutely love driving both those tracks. So yeah, it's just my second year of racing. So
so Peter was saying before we came on, obviously you're relatively new. So what attracted you to the MG Cup, really? I mean, I've got a comment here from someone I'll bring up in a minute, but what was it that initially encouraged you to come along? Was it Peter's brilliant sales tactics? Because I know what he's like.
Well, actually, I was racing in the Mazda Super Cup last year. I just did the last 4 rounds, I think it was. And I met someone at the Mallory Park Arts School.
Oh yeah.
And he got me in contact with Mark Wright. And essentially, about a year or two ago, I was very kindly gifted a MDF from an old colleague called Andy James. So yeah, it's all been quite I've been very well supported by the people around me, and Mark Wright and Steve Elliott helped me get the car ready and kind of direct me in the right direction as to what I could enter in and kind of continue to develop my skills as a driver.
Oh, brilliant.
Awesome.
Oh, it's good. It definitely sounds like you're in with a very good bunch.
Yeah, they're great.
Oh, that's really good. I will just bring up the comment because actually you guys can help us out with this one. So Chris Doherty sounds like a great race series. Any hire cars available?
Yes.
There we go.
So we've got a number of guys that have more than one car in the stable. So some of them they normally race at the Castle Coombe series, and they will bring them out. So yeah, Chris, get in touch afterwards, and I'll point you in the right direction if you want real drive. Eliza already mentioned Mark and Steve. They would be able to sort you out a driving MGF, or Chaz would be able to sort you out driving a ZR. And we've got a few other cars going around where people would be more than happy to help.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
And there you go. So that's kind of why we do this show and things like that, is that you can encourage people to come along, come and get involved, and
that's what we say to people. You know, if anyone's near Alton on the 18th, come across, have a chat with us. You know, we're normal people. We're pretty obsessed about MGs, so that go for the course. But it's you come down and there will be some beautiful cars there. And the nice bit is obviously you know we've got by far the best grid, because we're you know it's great actually. and yeah, the team at Equipe are very hospitable. But yeah, come down to the meeting, talk to any of us. We can point you in the right direction. We've always got an eye on cars that are for sale or only need slightly tweaking to be eligible to race. And yeah, we're pointing you in the right direction, and chat to any of the drivers, because you know, I always say the Cup is only as good as our drivers make it, because we've always run. I quite like the idea of a dictatorship, but to be fair, we can't get away with it. So we've always been very open with our finances with everybody. We've always been very open with the rule changes with everybody, and you know, we decided last year to go to Toyo tires, and we put it to a vote. So everybody that registered voted on it, and I'm really pleased that all the drivers are okay with it, because it's meant we're supported by a major tyre manufacturer now. We get subsidised tyres, and it's great. And everybody's on the same tyre, apart from the slick shod cars, which are a little quicker.
Yeah.
But it's brought all the classes a lot closer. So you know, there might be the 160 might be a road car, and the 170 version's got a light and flywheel suspension mods and camber. But as they're on the same tyre, as the drivers get quicker in the Class A cars, they keep up with some of the slower Class B cars.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. So it's really pulled the grid back together. And yeah, and you know, it's just making sure we try to achieve something that's sustainable. We try to achieve something that's also cost effective. You know, we've got other series run on different tires, and that's fine. But you know, we've got drivers that have joined us this year because their championship are running a tire that costs £220 a corner.
That's it.
And they can get a tire that lasts longer, and is about £160 a corner.
It's a lot kinder on the wallet, for sure.
And I'm sorry, that's what club racing is about. It's making it all things equal and making it more affordable, and that's all we've tried to do. And you know, it's not a secret recipe to attract people. You've got to make it sustainable, and to do that, you've got to make it affordable. And you know, unfortunately, the circuits are, you know, they are a little bit greedy. And it's so frustrating. Like news about the C1s. You know, that was, well, actually done a 24-hour race in the C1, and yeah, it sounded a right laugh. But
it's so much fun.
Yeah, but you know, the C1s are a good series, and there should be enough club racers out there that, you know, how many drivers can you have for that? What, 4 or 5, 6?
Yeah.
So you're looking at what, you know, say it costs 10 grand. Hold on, that's a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah. That's it, right? If you dull it down to how much seat time you get per cost, you can't beat it.
Well, we used to when I started with the ZS, we were involved with a school project, and it was they deliberately took children before they did their GCSE, so we had to get dispensation to an MSA to allow them at the circuit and on the pit wall, etc. But we built a car for club racing, and 2 of them, but with the intention to run in Brit car. And the car ran in Brit car for 2 years, and it was a success for its class. But you know, I know we were working out budgets for that, and my friend used to race for Honda, and he's a load of former colleagues for Honda. They all race together now, and Dan Ludlow used to he raced the Jazz, the Civic, the later Civic, and all sorts of toys. But you know, they used to have a budget which was pretty frightening. You know, on slicks and wets for a 24-hour race. All right, it's a different league to try and
definitely
to see one. But you know, you would do it. I think you'd give it a shout for that money. So you know, we wish the guys luck, because it's never good seeing another organisation that is passionate about getting people on track and seat time. And that's not good news. So you know, that's it would be good to make the club community to, you know, really, if you fancy doing that sort of thing, you should support them, because you know, they run it as a business, and that's going to have a drastic effect on them. So you know, big shout out to C1 guys. That's
no, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, going back to the fact that, you know, you can use Toyo tires and things like that. I mean, unfortunately, as you say, motorsport is a business for a lot of people. I know you mentioned the circuits as well. Obviously, we're very lucky. You know, we have ultimately got to support them, but sometimes it's, you know, greed is in there somewhere. But you know, having something that is like yourself, where it is open, where you can get the Toyos that are a cheaper tire. You know, you got series and championships out there that are like, you have to buy this tire at this cost. You have to get it from this particular place. And obviously their nest is getting feathered, and, you know, all of this stuff. And that I think is obviously a massive factor that just, you know, that it actually puts people off sometimes. I mean, I know we used to do it, obviously, you know, and you'd get some people that can afford just throw tires. You know, you got all these teams that can afford that, and this and this. So it's actually refreshing, you know, when you do go to a championship or a club like, or, you know, or a series like yourself, where it is so open. You can bring anything. You know,
the best thing is, sorry to keep plugging Toyo, but
by the way, you can plug as much as you want. This is your limelight for this evening.
Okay, but no, it did open some of my fellow competitors' eyes, because I've run them for years, and I've known Alan and Mika for years. So you know, they make a good product. But I'm still running my tyres I had last year.
Yeah.
So and that, okay, they're coming to the end of their life, but they've lasted all season and some testing, and they get you into the next season. That's 4 tyres.
Yeah.
That's under £600, and that is all I have spent to do a season and a half on tyres. And some people are spending, you know, a lot of money. Now that's fine for those that want to do it, but it is an influence. You know, Equip are at the well, they're mainly MSV circuits, obviously, apart from Silverstone, but they're well-known circuits, and it is difficult when you run a big organization and you've got 6 or 7 series that you want to put a race weekend. So yeah, you know, it's gutting, because you know, Castle Coombe, they've never got a whole day where they can take 1 or 2 of us. Thruxton is pretty much sold out. It's got regular meetings.
They only do 3 meetings a year, don't they?
Yeah. Mallory are now bikes only. Anglesey is a good circuit, but I haven't raced there. I'm going to watch many a race at it, but it's difficult to fill. You know, and it's like Cadwell. You know, it's difficult to fill, but you know, I to be fair, 22 cars I think is a good show. And it surprised me when we had 22 cars in the holding area waiting to go, or the assembly area waiting to go out. It was chocker. You know,
annoyingly, that was one of the videos you sent me, and unfortunately, because of the format, and as I say, I'm on a different laptop tonight, so I'm absolutely rubbish with technology. You sent us the video of all the cars coming out of the holding area, and it was constant. It was just
Yeah, well, that was
sounded so good. I'll post it up actually.
I was pleased to take the video on my phone. I was a bit gutted that I missed race one, but you know the things you do to plug a series. But no, it's. I feel quite blessed. You know, this year we've managed to get probably 7-8 drivers that are new to MGs or new drivers to the championship, and so obviously that was a slip in the series, but it does. I'm pleased because we've got some drivers that have come from other places, and that's fine. And you know that's no problem. We've got some drivers that have coming back to racing. They haven't done much for a couple of years, and they're all people that we've known. Some of the older drivers that are returning to motorsport. But the thing is, you know, they've chosen us because we like racing. We try to put on a good show. And it's surprising. Some of the guys are absolutely amazing. You know, joining a series with no politics involved. It's fine. You know, we're all
no politics in motorsport.
Well, there's a little bit. There's a little bit, but no, it's refreshing to not have the pressures of the supporting club on us, because you know we as individuals face a lot as the organisers. So you know you've got to get 21 cars, or you've got to pay the difference, and that's the long and the hard part of it. And you know, as Ashley rightly said, you know, we put it to all our drivers: do we give up championship status
in favour of
okay, Equips, you know, they've taken us, they've taken the BCV8s, and that's who they chose. And we had to prove that we had sustainable grid, sustainable numbers, and you know, so I'm pleased with that. And
you should be. You absolutely should be.
I do stalk people. I do stalk people a little bit. Yeah, if you own an MG and you race, you get DMs from me all year long. But you know, it's I joke, but we all know each other. You know, you guys. And this is the beauty of racing in the UK. There are so many like-minded people. You know, this and you know. We were graced for 2 years with the short boys. You know, they came to us, and they are phenomenally fast. And you know, but what a great thing! You know, it's having the opportunity to see people on the path to bigger and better things in the future if they want it. But also to embrace it. Actually, we're just a group of mates, and we like racing, and
that is one thing I like. So what I want to do is circle back to the whole. You know, you were saying that people can come along, speak to your drivers. So obviously, for anyone who is listening, anyone who is watching, that's where I started in club racing, is with the Fiesta guys. It's so approachable, club racing, and then when you've got a club like yourselves that you know will gladly encourage people to come along, you know, talk about everything. You know, once upon a time, and there's people hopefully watching and listening right now that have stood the other side of the fence that are just enthusiasts. It's like, we cannot stress enough, come along, speak to people. We're not all scary. You know, I know, you know, I always used to think, you know, watching BTCC back when I was a teenager, I was like, I'll never be able to race. This is ridiculous. And now, you know, we've managed to make a business out of doing, and we're lucky enough that we get to cover, you know, all the race series in the UK. No, not just you guys. You know, we cover everything, and I don't think we've been into a bad paddock or a group of guys. As you say, you're all friends. You all want to see cars out on track, and it's so approachable. I mean, that's why we still sing about club racing. It's fantastic, and the fact that you guys are, you know, are as approachable as everybody else is just testament to how how good it is. So
I think the big difference is there is no prima donnas as such.
No.
Everybody's approachable. It doesn't matter who it is. They'll all dive in. They'll all help. Somebody's got a problem. They're all there to help each other out.
That's it.
Even the main rivals, and Pete mentioned earlier, trying to sort Tony's lights out. He puts out, I was there to help him with his lights, not realising he was the one next to me on the grid.
Yeah.
Chasing each other, looking at his light.
Quick, chop them back.
Yeah, he sources the lights out, but you made a no. That's
Yeah, but that is why we love club racing, isn't it? Is I say everyone, I'd easily put a percentage of 98% of people, the top end stuff, the really competitive championships and stuff like that. You might not get that as much. Yeah, the racing's really entertaining, but someone isn't going to go lending someone some brake pads that are potentially fighting in a championship battle. You might not get that, but that's why we love club racing, because it is just everyone wants to see cars on track, and it's just encouraging the likes of new drivers like Eliza coming in.
One thing I was going to say, because I've obviously badgered both of you in the past. When are you going to come out and try the Cup?
I have dropped this since we've relaunched the Paddock Live. I've dropped the whole scrounging for drives and stuff like that. It doesn't work. But by all means, it's again. If I'm well up for it, I'll race a milk float if I could. Anything to get me out of the track. I love it, honestly.
All right. Well, look, we speak offline, but we're trying to sort a rental out at a sensible
100%.
rate.
We can always do something. We'll bring the cameras along. We'll vlog the whole day, and we'll come and see what it's all about for sure. So definitely.
All right. Well, I'll hold you to that. So
all right. Let's do it. That's it. It's on live. It's on a live show now, isn't it?
What you should agree to is doing the end of season 40-minute race and a two driver. So we'll see if we can arrange a car.
Pete, sorry, you've already got an offer here. I don't know whether you can see that, Nick, from the
yes,
from Greg.
I can see that. So Greg's already said he's going to lend you MGF. Oh crap! What am I signing myself up for? Honestly, guys, we would be. It'd be an absolute pleasure to come along and spend the weekends with you guys for sure.
Cool. Yeah,
all right. Let's talk offline about this. Yeah. We love racing. Honestly, we are ultimately we are fans of this stuff. That's why we shout about it. The reason this club started originally was because no one was shouting about it enough, and here we are talking about it, shouting about it, encouraging people to get involved. Networking. Exactly. It's honestly so good. Just whilst we're at it, I'm just going to bring up a couple of comments. First of all, Eliza, you have a fan? Good evening.
Hi. Good, thank you.
Excellent. Also, I just want to pop back to what Paul was saying. Firstly, good evening, Mr. Brown. I love how he just puts hi, Nick. There's more than just me on the show. I know. Obviously. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. Obviously, he's referring to here that some of the quotes from Arrive and Drives, I'm assuming, obviously silly money and stuff like that. Again, obviously everyone's trying to break even and make a living out of some of these things. But yeah, some things we see is just a bit. I'd rather see a car on track than.
Yeah, and to be fair, we used to. I used to have a third chair in an MGF that we used to rent out. Anybody renting a car, they've got to cover the maintenance of it and get a car that's going to last. Yes, there are cars available, and we can put you in touch with it, but they're not charging thousands upon thousands. It's relative. You've got a race entry that's £460. You're going to need race fuel for the weekend, so it's £100. You're going to need to get a car there to get somebody to tow it to the circuit, so that's probably £100 for for the bloke to tow it, and 90 quid's worth of fuel. So it all adds up. So
Yeah, of course it does.
the actual hire of the car is not really the biggest cost. That's people ask us, how much does it cost a race weekend? And realistically, it's about £1,000, and it sounds horrendous, but if you've ever driven a race car, you find the money for it. It's my wife. It's called my car Camilla. I don't understand why. But no, we're very lucky, and I thought 2 years ago when I had a stroke, I thought that's it, that's racing gone, dusted, and racing actually enabled me to get better, and I'm still not right, but I'm better than I was. But it's taken me to today to feel relatively normal. And everybody left Cadwell Saturday night. I went back to an Airbnb, slept like a baby, woke up in the morning, and I got home just after 12 on Sunday, so it was great. But no, I just to all fellow MG Cuppers, thank you for the support, because it made a big difference to me, and it gave me some purpose when I was off and rehabilitating. So it has a really fun place in my heart, because I love it. I can't drive like I used to drive. Fine, I've spun off a couple of times. Well, I couldn't really heel and toe before, but I definitely can't now. But it's I came home and the biggest smile on my face, because I've been racing for the weekend, and Eliza had a cracking photograph she put on afterwards, and her and her friend were jumping up, and I felt I wish I could do that. But it's so nice to see people that come into the sport and join us. And seriously, Eliza, it's a pleasure to see you, and you enjoy it. And that's the same for everybody else that's novices that are with us. Nobody goes home with a bad feeling, and that's all we want. Because if you enjoy racing with us, you'll do more, or you might do less, but in a couple of years you'll come back, and that's the one thing we really try to do. So I'll stop plugging the MG Cup now, but it's by far the best race series.
Absolutely, that is exactly what tonight's about. It is about you guys, and I just wanted to obviously just extend on what you were just saying there, and obviously everyone going away with a great feeling is what racing's all about. It is great fun. Obviously, we're very lucky in what we get to do. And as I've mentioned before, a lot of people coming into it or don't know the sport as well. They always want to be at the front. They want to win. I get all of that. But honestly, you will have some of the best battles, some of the best times fighting for 20th place. You've got 3-4 similarly spec cars. You're nowhere near a podium. Doesn't matter. You're having the best time of your life. Swapping places. This. You can't beat that. Don't get me wrong. Going home with a £10 plastic trophy is fantastic. But I say that because there's lots of plastic trophies on show here, boys, and I haven't got any of mine to hand. But
there's
more to the whole.
No, you're right. You're right, and it's just about bringing a little bit of enjoyment back, because you only got to pick up a newspaper. It's just doom and gloom everywhere. And I don't, but I'd rather listen to the football than listen to the news, because it's dire at the moment. And they all talk it up. We're not really in recession. We're all working, and the world will be a better place.
Yeah, we're being squeezed. I will say that much, but I won't go into politics. But life is about having fun, isn't it? If you don't mind me saying, Peter, obviously you didn't plan to have have a stroke or anything like that. You didn't plan to have such a life-changing change happen to yourself. And the fact that motorsport has given you that, that thing to aim for and that thing to like really take your mind off of all of that.
Yeah. It's funny actually. Hopefully my boss isn't watching, because he see that I enjoy something more than work. But
amen to that. Amen.
Yeah. It is just about having a good laugh with your friends. And making some really good friends. As well.
100%. Honestly, the doors that this has opened, the things that we've got to do, Steph, isn't it? Honestly, the places we've been just through a love of motorsport. And like I say, you're never far from a racing fan, are you, when you're at a racetrack? Obviously.
And that's the beauty of it. And it's just nice that we can go racing and enjoy it, and just enjoy the racing. And that's all we want. So
100%.
Yeah. So mgcup.com. That's all you need to know.
Come and find it. We'll put some more pictures and videos and stuff as we go. I just want to put one more comment up, and then what we'll do, we'll round up what you guys are doing for the rest of your year. Good one from James Harridge here. Good evening, mate. Hope you're well. Life's expensive. People are struggling. Hobbies go first. Unfortunately, that is the case. All circuits need to be free to enter meetings. The track's paid for by the team. It baffles me. I'd love to get all of your views on this. It actually, I'm going to say, it pisses me off that the circuits will still put a 15 quid price tag on coming to watch us lot race,
and then charge 15 quid for a burger at lunchtime.
That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother episode.
The best one is we have a hog roast at Stefan. So it's a really good, well received by all the drivers. But the hoops, the hog roast company have to jump through, and the hoops we have to jump through with the circuits to prove that we're not selling anything at the circuit. It's a big shout out to Cherished Vehicle Insurance. They are our sponsor, and that they pay for it. But it is really frustrating. The worst culprit for it is Silverstone, to be fair.
It's just...
and it is a real shame, because they charge a lot of money to hire the Grand Prix circuit, and this year we're going to it again, and some clubs have shied away, and the entry is more expensive for the Grand Prix circuit, but
also
ultimately it's Formula One putting the squeeze on Silverstone, and all the big series is putting the squeeze on the other circuit owners, and unfortunately it all falls down to us, and it's a real shame.
It's very short-sighted from some people, isn't it? I mean, it's way above my pay grade, some of these decisions, and I certainly wouldn't be very good at doing it, that's for sure. But it's just, especially, I mean, there's thousands upon thousands of racers out there that pay a hefty price to go racing. I guarantee it's a nice cost.
And to
piggy bank at the end of it from us lot. But.
To be fair, and to be fair, when it's club racing, they should make the entry free, or make it £3 or something. Because
cover the program, but
to be fair, we like the 750 Motor Club, like lots of clubs now do an electronic program, and it's what do you do with a paper program? Some people keep them. My dear old dad was a Watford fan, and he passed away a couple of years ago, and when I was clearing his bungalow in the loft, he had every home program since before I was born, and it was just like hundreds of bloody programs. But to be fair, I went on a Hornets group and put up something to give these a good home, and a chap bit my arm off for them. But it would make sense to make it.
Maybe we should get a petition on the go. Get all of our members and everyone behind it.
So well,
free
it
the
wouldn't hurt, would
racetracks.
it? Well, no, but if you get people in spectating, they're buying food and drinks. If you get people in spectating, they're watching the race cars. If they're watching the race cars, they might want to become a marshal because big shout for the Orange Army. Without them, we don't go racing.
It's technically free advertising. And all the key people are there. The scrutineers, the marshals, as you say, photographers are there. People might be interested in photography. Go and speak to some of the photographers. Teams are there. It's this will go on for hours if we carry on talking.
I know. It's a good one to start at the pub and then
it's not that I want to cut you short of it. I just know I will go off on one and just all night. Right. So what we'll do then, guys, we'll round up. Obviously, this has been a great chat so far. So
cool.
Going on for the rest of 2024, obviously you've got your racing coming up. Anything else in the pipelines this coming year, guys? This is aimed at all of you, by the way.
I'll let the others speak because I have a habit of rabbiting.
I'll go. I'm just doing the rest of the MG Cup essentially. So I keep hopefully progressing. The aim is to try and get a podium at some point. I've been getting podium in class, but I'd quite like to get near the front of the grid. I'm currently on 2 season-old slicks and I don't have any wet, so trying to get together.
Keep praying for dry then.
I tell you what, that was very brave for Cadwell because that wasn't the morning was very damp.
Yeah, it was a bit slidey. I had one little excursion, did some grass cutting for farmers.
He's got grass seed coming out of his ears, I'm sure.
Saves on his lawnmower bill, doesn't it?
Save the money, put some tyres on, drop down a class to Class C.
Oh, there you go.
I think, I'm not sure you'll be able to answer this, Peter, but because I have a lot of cup car parts on my car, I think it would probably cost me quite a lot to convert to a C class, I think. Is that right?
Just put tyres on.
Just put tyres on.
Oh, is that really it?
That is it. Yeah.
Class C is your class, but you're running slick, so you're in Class D.
Yeah. So no, it does. The cup used to run slicks and wets as well, and then about 6-7 years ago they decided to stick to road tires. But you'd be more than welcome to come into Class C, or and it's an interesting dynamic because we were unsure about doing it, but we're glad we have, because the thing is, when the conditions aren't particularly great, it's a great leveler, but it also gives us hope because Ashley mentioned the 216 GTI that we've got running with us, and that actually runs on Toyos. And he gave Mark it's a quick car, but he gave Mark a bit of a run at Brand. So you can get our times on Toyos are favourable with the slower cars in the cockshoot, for instance. So it's the grip level on the slick is by far better. But the car is eligible, and that could be something for 2025, having a year on Toyos, or stick to the slicks. But we just want people to have the choice. So if you want to pursue slicks, by all means do. But if you're trying to make it cheaper for yourself, as it were, you could, and that's the beauty of the series. So you are registered in the series, and it doesn't matter if halfway through the year you swap cars, because you're registered in whatever car you have. But if you swap classes, it's not a problem. You're still racing, and we get end of season awards. It's not we don't have anything at the end, but it's for the best performance in class. you know.
Nice.
And we have a selection of class winners, so it's all to play for. So
brilliant. There you go.
Yeah,
that's what we like.
Thinking about it, I might even have a set of F wheels with Toyos on them. Actually, thinking about it, sitting on the bench.
Well, hey,
there you go.
Yeah, got some wheels.
See, look at that. We're bringing you guys together.
I don't know why I suggest that, because you'll be in the same class as I am. So I don't staying
oh, brilliant.
No, but it and so you know, it's good. We're looking forward to the remaining rounds. And really the 40-minute race at the end of the year is you know, it's an eye opener for us, because some of the cars run normal fuel tanks, some of the MGBs we got with us run a smaller tank, so you know, but it would be good. And the aim this year is to get every driver that's registered with us out for one race. Perfect. And that's the beauty. But you know, we've had more drivers. They saw what we did at Brands, and the nice thing is we've got another 220 turbo in the pipeline that's coming out with us, and we're having the ones entered at Alton already. So we opened the book, as it were, on Monday, and we've got 12 drivers signed up already. So yeah, we're looking at strong grids, and that is also important this year, because we have to make ourselves appealing to people. And if people can see, you know, and if people own an MG Rover, they can race with us. It's like our friends, the Metro Cup. You know, they're going from strength to strength, and they've casting their own farrow. With the thing with us with MGs, there were more clubs racing them than there are actual cars to make it viable, and that was the hard decision that the MG Car Club had to make. And you know, it's really difficult, but we are all racing. All the former MG Car Club series and championships have found a home, and long may it continue, because at the end of the day, you know, we're all friends, and that's what it's about. If you want to race with us, then come and race with us. If you don't want to race with us, then don't race with us. You know, we don't take offence to it. But I've made a mental note, and I've just contemplating getting a car organised. So we'll have Nick and Stefan debuting in the
we're going to be coming
MG
to race by the
Cup
sounds of it
on the 6th of October by hook or by crook. So no, it'd be good. Yeah, it's a bit of roundy at Silverstone, so it's not too far from you. And
no, actually, that's one of our closest.
Well, we've Gary Preble rents out his 220 turbo.
Oh, yes.
So you know, I'm sure we could, if it isn't taken by Lance, but we could get that in the mix. Or
sign us up. Sign us up.
It might already be taken, that one.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
But
like I say, I'm game for anything. As long as if we will come and have a giggle, I'm all ears.
Excellent. All right. Well, I'll hold you boys to that. Well, look, thank you very much for having us.
No, absolutely. I'll end on two more comments just quickly. Greg said that he's got some wheels for you, Liza. And they're pink as well. But this is it, isn't it? It just shows that everyone is willing to help. And then what I'll do, one final comment, because I think this is a nice little poignant one for you guys, is last Saturday at Cadwell was a well-run meeting with close competitive racing. That's from Motion Ratio Media.
Definitely. And I think that's a fair comment. And everybody in the paddock enjoyed themselves, and that's what it's about. You know, it's an excuse to go out, drive fast, and forget about the normal mundane things that drive us all mad, isn't it? You know.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely.
Exactly that.
But above all, it's with friends, and that's what it's all about.
That's it.
Cool.
Well then, guys. Thank you thank you guys so much for this evening. I'll just put one more picture up, and then you guys can sign yourselves off. It'll be no, this has been fantastic. Obviously, for anyone who is interested in getting in touch or wants to know more about the Equipe MG Cup, obviously get in touch with ourselves or get in touch with these guys here. Honestly, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Any final shout outs before we sign the show off?
No, just a plug for Cherished Vehicle Insurance and Toyo Tyres, because without their support, we wouldn't have the series that we got. So it's much appreciated.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
I would just like to add on that. I'd like to thank all of the competitors we've got registered with us so far, and all of those that are coming out with us. Without those guys registering with us, we wouldn't have the series we've got.
Yeah, perfect.
Am I allowed to shout my sponsors?
You can shout out whoever you want.
Because I won't be on the grid this year without them. So Fibre Marketing, Pergola Drinks, and Foxes Group. Thanks very much for the support.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
And it's good that club racers are able to get support and to get people to sponsor them, because we all hunt for it, and it's so important that sponsors actually do appreciate club racing, because we can't all be in a televised series,
No, absolutely. Again, I mean, we're talking about sponsors. If it wasn't for the likes of PBS, Marketing Delivery, All Square Racing Road, obviously Vulcan Racing, Uncle Luke's Learn to Race and Vehicle Tech Mobile, and also Wired Remote, we can't do what we can do. So
exactly,
yeah, it's lovely having these companies on board supporting racing. It's great fun.
Cool.
Right.
What a suitable point to end. So
yes,
thank you very much, guys, and obviously Eliza and Ashley for coming on tonight.
Yes,
and
thank you all for spending your Tuesday evenings with us.
Yeah, and if you ever want us back, you know where to ask. So
as you say, so just for the record, I have got I think it's something like 20 episodes lined up this year. Good luck, Steph. But yeah, obviously throughout the year we'll be doing race roundups and catching up with you guys. So
cool.
Absolutely would love to get you guys back on. If not, we can always talk about 2025, which is a horrible thought already. But honestly, guys, on behalf of us here at Club Racing UK, tonight's show has been episode 9 of the Equipe MG Cup. Thank you very much for watching or listening, and we'll see you in 3 weeks' time.
Cheers, guys.
Good night.
Thank you very much.